My name is Anissa Abdul Latif. I am a current student at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute doing a wine and spirit course, and this is my presentation on liqueurs. So some of the things we'll be covering will be the definition of liqueurs, some of the categories and the legal categories and definition of liqueurs, production, and as well the generic versus proprietary liqueurs. So what is liqueur? Liqueur is a flavored alcoholic beverage created by infusing a base spirit such as vodka, brandy, or gin with ingredients like fruits, herbs, spices, or cream. It is sweetened by adding sugar and generally has a lower alcoholic content than standard spirits. As a result, it do offers a more delicate flavor and is often enjoyed as a digestive. So some of the categories of liqueurs, the first one is chocolate liqueurs. These are a liqueur infused with rich chocolate flavors, often creamy and sweet. An example of a liqueur is the Godiva chocolate liqueurs. Coffee liqueurs. These are made by infusing coffee flavors into spirits, providing a bold, sweet taste. An example of that is the Kahlua. Cream liqueurs. So these are combine a base spirit with dairy, cream, or other flavors that creates a smooth, rich drink. An example of a liqueur is the Bailey's Irish Cream. Fruit liqueurs. This is flavored primarily with fruits or fruit juices. This offers a sweet and vibrant taste. An example of a fruit liqueur is the crème de cassis. Herbal liqueurs. This is crafted with herbs, spices, and botanicals, which often is enjoyed as an aperitif or a digestif. An example of that is a chartreuse. Whiskey liqueurs are combined with whiskey and other flavors, often sweet or spiced. This creates a more smooth, warm drink. An example of a whiskey liqueur is the Irish Mist. The nut flavor liqueurs, it is infused with nuts, such as almonds, hazelnuts. It delivers a sweet, nutty flavor. An example of that is the amaretto. So these are some of the examples of liqueurs in each category of chocolate liqueurs, coffee liqueurs, fruit liqueurs, whiskey, herb, and nuts. These are some of the varieties of liqueurs that is fairly popular in the market that you can see in restaurants, hotels, that pairs well with each category. So these this so we are moving on to production of liqueurs. So basically it's not a long production, it's breaks down into 4 categories. So let's go through the categories. So the first one is flavor instruction. using a distilled spirit, for example, vodka, brandy, or even another neutral alcohol, the flavor is infused. Second stage is the sweetening, which is basically a simple syrup, which is sugar and water, which is added to the mixture. The third step is the maceration or aging. So basically, the liqueur may rest in a cask so that the flavors will melt. The last is, well, filtering and bottling. So the mixture is filtered for clarity and bottled. So, and sometimes it goes for a final aging period. So we are moving on. So we are moving on to the generic versus preparatory liqueurs. So what is the difference between the both? The generic liqueur is a broadly produced drink that isn't really tied to a specific brand or even a unique formula. An example of that could be like a store brand orange liqueur, can be a generic liqueur. The proprietary liqueur is more branded. It is a unique recipe protected by the company. An example of a liqueur is Angostura, which is a proprietary liqueur that is heavily guarded. So, liqueur is a diverse flavored spirit that range from sweet fruit varieties to rich creamy blends. Whether it is generic or proprietary, each type really offers its own distinct character. Understanding these categories and production steps really helps appreciate the craft behind each liqueur. So basically, this was just a summary of some of the liqueurs that is out in the market. I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation of liqueurs, and I hope to see you again.